Welcome to the 10 Forward Lounge. Please follow me. We reserved a table just for you.
Welcome to the 10 Forward Lounge podcast. This is Greg, and I am here today with a good buddy of mine. This is JD.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Okay, JD is actually a good buddy of mine because we have beat the living crap out of each other.
We have.
Yes, we have. We've been in the ring, well, only a couple times, like 3 or 4 times.
Well, a funny story is me and Sledge, I've been wrestling for about 6 years, so a lot less than you. And you gave me and Sledge our finish. We challenged you for the Vendetta tag titles, and you said, you guys are kind of like Demolition. You should do that, the elbow backbreaker. And we've rolled with that for 5 years after the fact.
Now, the funny thing is, I was just talking with Sledge about okay, so before we get ahead of ourselves, I've known JD. We've wrestled together for years, and we just did a show, an hour ago?
Yeah.
Like, we just did the Vendetta Pro Reflection show.
Yeah.
And Sledge and I were talking about that. Sledge and I were talking about the match we did in Ridgecrest.
Yeah, when I was so drunk. Remember from the night before, I got thrown out of the bar. I was so hammered to where I threw up the whole day before the match, got through the match, threw up some more.
These are definite pro wrestling stories, guys. So you guys just get used to this shit. But no, Sledge and I were just talking about this one. But anyway, no, the reason I had JD on is JD's actually a big influence of mine because him and our other buddy Dom, you guys have your own show.
Yes, we do, the Post Mortem show.
Right, and I've caught a couple episodes of that, and you guys were so helpful to me on getting this show started.
Yeah, as far as the setup and technical and that kind of stuff.
Right, and so I mean, what's the Post Mortem podcast about?
So Post Mortem show, we're about 46 episodes deep now. We are a horror movie podcast, but that's not all we are. We're more of a dark comedy between two friends. And horror movies is the subject, but we go on a lot of tangents. We do horror news typically, and then we have different segments we do in the middle. The good and bad movie of the week. We have At the Movies, where we see the same movie. Nostalgia Killers, where we watch a movie we haven't seen since we were kids and see if it still holds up. And then we do interviews with authors, actors, people like that. And then we end the show with a top 5 list every week.
No, one of the episodes I caught with actually the first episode you guys recommended was your best TV episodes, like best horror shows.
Yeah, the best TV episodes of horror of shows that have a horror theme, even if the show isn't a horror show.
Right, and that was the part that fucked me up because you guys threw out Punky Brewster.
That's Dom. That's not me.
Well, no, but the thing is, I remember that episode.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I blocked it out, but when Dom started talking about it, I went, oh shit, I remember that. Like, I remember
weird
Punky
shit.
Brewster.
I watched it online afterwards.
Yeah, I remember Punky Brewster. I remember, God, that was 83, 84? Like,
something like that.
Yeah,
It's
something
been
like
a while.
yeah, but that was just like somebody fucking dropped acid and wrote that episode.
Yeah, something weird.
Yeah, and so when I'm actually was one of the last Vendetta shows in November, I think. And you guys told me about your podcast, so I immediately downloaded it on my phone, and I listened to it on the way home, and I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking laughing, especially when you guys hit Punky Brewster. I'm just like, oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we kind of go all over the place. We're a little different. I mean, probably about 25% of the conversation is about horror movies. 25% is typically masturbation and different techniques, and then the other 50% is just random. I mean, we do like I said, we do a top 5 different things. I believe our first one we ever did, our first top 5 was the top 5 horror movie decapitations. And every show we have a different rating system. It's always on the fly. It's something we talk about that makes us laugh during horror news, during some of the other segments. I believe the first one was reanimated severed zombie penises was our rating system, you know. And it's went ever since then. It's been worse and worse and worse and different. But we've actually got a little bit of press. I mean, we're getting good listenership, and we've been endorsed by character actor Doug Jones. You know, tall, lanky Doug Jones.
Oh, right, yeah. Silver Surfer.
Abe Sapien, yeah. Yeah, he said he loves us because our second episode ever was a love letter to Doug Jones was the name of the episode. And he retweeted it and re-Facebooked it and said, I think I just fell in love with Dom and JD, too. And then we have Lucifer Valentine, who made the Vomit Gore trilogy, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, Regurgitated Sacrifice, the craziest movie ever, Slow Puke Torture Chamber, all these extreme horror movies, the worst shit you'll ever see. And we reviewed some of his movies, and he said, these guys got it right. He endorsed us, shared our shit, and we're actually going to be screening one of his movies at Cal Poly as a protest to Milo Yiannopoulos, or however you say this fucker's name, and all the neo-Nazis coming to Cal Poly. We're going to be screening Regurgitated Sacrifice and testing the limits of free speech, because they say we're going to let these Nazis speak at the canvas in the interest of free speech. So we're going to see, okay, what does free speech entail? And he has given us the rights to screen his movie at the college. And we've been endorsed by faculty, all kinds of people. So it's going to be good.
See, I'm not nearly that advanced yet. Like this, I'm only 4 shows in.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I just hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah, we did our first live show a couple months back.
I caught that one.
Yeah,
I downloaded that one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I had some technical errors. I was trying to run a video thing for the live audience plus the audio, and I kind of screwed it up. So we had to go to a secondary source for some of the audio. But beyond that, it was pretty good. So it was a lot of fun. We drew a crowd. We filled it, so that was good. And this will be our second live thing we do, is this screening of the movie with a live podcast as well.
So what point do you decide that, you know what, I want to do a fucking podcast. I want to, instead of you and I sitting here getting drunk talking about horror movies just between the two of us, we're going to record this shit and post it.
I have a creative mind as far as I like to create something out of nothing. I like to write short stories. I play in a band. I sing in a band. I do wrestling, all this kind of things. Well, wrestling to me is, as you know, as I told you today, I did a drop toe hold, and I couldn't feel my legs for about 30 seconds. So as far as doing all the crazy death matches I've done and going off balconies and bumping on the cement, doing all this barbed wire shit and, like, pushing my body to limits, that's almost over for me. It's
right.
Not going to be that much longer. So I need something to fill the gap.
You need that outlet.
I'm starting to think of an outlet. So I started writing more. I started, my band started getting more serious, and we started doing that as well because I'm taking minimal bookings now and, just doing my home companies and flights and stuff like that. So then me and Dom, we've always been good friends and everything, but Dom's got a creative mind as well. He makes music as well. We've talked about making films together and stuff. And we started doing this. It was just basically like, hey, Dom, let's do a podcast about horror movies. Yes, let's do it. And then 1 week later, we tried it, and we had a fucking blast. We laughed our asses off for an hour and a half the first episode. It was great. And it's something I look forward to every week that we do. Whether we get 10,000 listeners or whether we get 1,000 listeners in an episode, I don't care. We're not at the level where we're making a shitload of money of it yet, but it's pretty cool that we have listeners in Georgia is one of our main listeners that listens all the time and suggests top 5 lists. We have guys in like Sweden that have wrote into us and emailed us, and just all across the country. And that's been pretty cool, to have people just listen to what you're doing, like what you're doing, and it's developed from there. We never thought it would become what it is now.
Yeah, see, and I love that you guys have reached that level. Like I said, I'm just starting out. This is my 4th show, and I think I have maybe 3 listeners.
Yeah.
And I'm just
we're going to retweet all your stuff. Hopefully our listeners will check it out.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting there going like, okay, as long as they don't think it sucks, I guess I'm okay.
Yeah. That's the way it is. You should just appeal to whoever, just do it anyway. That's
which is
what we
why,
do.
I started off with a wide base. Like my whole podcast is about geek shit. Whether it be comics, movies, TVs, horror nerds.
Yeah.
You know, horror nerds like you, me, Danny Foster, Dom,
Yeah.
you know, like guys who we're into some twisted shit.
Yeah.
We are.
That's
like
very true.
we're fucked up. There's something wrong with us. You
Something wrong, but it's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun as shit. Like we're never boring. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about this. As a pastime, we bounce our bodies off of a wood and metal ring.
Yeah.
Like for people that 9 times out of 10 we wouldn't hang out with normally.
Yeah. Especially Vendetta crowd.
Oh yeah.
He draws good, but the worst.
Okay, now folks, you don't understand. A pro wrestling crowd is they can be rabid
Yeah.
for you or against you.
Yeah.
Like I've had people cheer me like crazy. I've had people want me dead.
Yeah.
You know, and you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. When we came back to Vendetta, the Cencal invasion after we quit and all that stuff, when all that shit went down, I almost fought some guy in the parking lot and all this stuff because they were trying to hit us. They were hitting us over
Yeah, Sledge got attacked.
Yeah, I got attacked too.
Yeah, as you guys walked to the ring.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
Right, I've never.
I want to get stabbed like Puerto Rico style. You know, that's my goal in wrestling. And before I've got stabbed a lot in the ring, but only in death matches. Be stabbed by a fan out of hatred. That's my goal.
I'll take a pass on that. Like, hit me with a fucking chair, put me through a table. You stab me, I'm fucking killing you. Like, no, bitch. I don't get paid nearly enough to take a stabbing.
Yeah, it's fun times.
Okay, so since we're talking about wrestling, what is that one? Everyone's got that one experience where you're like, did that just fucking happen right now? Like,
Yeah.
that is the greatest thing that ever fucking happened.
Yeah.
Like, what's yours?
As far as me
Anything.
wrestling,
Yes.
or
Yes.
man, there's been a lot. I think that my favorite experience so far in wrestling that I've done, I've been very fortunate because I'm in a niche of death matches to where I've been flown out to Tennessee and Colorado, Indiana, and I've been all across the country.
Yeah,
doing
no,
death matches.
you've actually traveled way more than I have.
And my favorite experience so far has been the IWA Mid-South King of the Death Matches. It's like the top death match tournament since like 1997. It's been the mecca of American deathmatch wrestling with all the greats. You know, everyone came from there. Everyone's been there. And when I got there from California, you know, my first time out there in Indiana, I had fans. As soon as I came out, as soon as my music hit, I heard JD Horror from all these rabid deathmatch like niche fans that know their shit, smart fans. These aren't just like I hate to talk bad about the Vendetta crowd, but you know, as
Right.
of tonight, these people just come. They don't care who you are.
Right, pretty
They
much.
don't know you. They just want to see wrestling. You know what I mean? These are people.
Yeah,
who-
they're the fans that are there for the
Yeah.
stars, and they're the fans that are there for the brand.
Yeah, these are people that came all the way from different states. Like, this is a small rural town in Indiana where this tournament's held, and these hundreds of people came from New York and New Jersey.
dude, that's
and,
awesome.
You know, all these people came from. I had a fan come from Japan. That came from Japan, and my match was a fans bring the weapons match. And I had this guy, Yuki Kasai. He goes to all the major deathmatch tournaments. He's one of my favorite fans. He brought me a Kenzon from Japan. JD, maybe you use this? Yes, you know, like from Japan for my match. You know what I mean? So
fucking great.
it was awesome, and I sold like 100 T-shirts, and it was fucking awesome. It was the best experience I've ever had in wrestling. So, by far, so far, you know, and hopefully there'll be more. Like this year, I have 5 out-of-state bookings so far in 2017 that are coming up. So I'm going to the East Coast. I'm going to the Midwest. I'm not going to announce where it is yet
Right,
because they have
right.
to be confirmed and
Yeah,
announced
you
by
don't
these
want,
companies.
you don't want to jinx anything.
Get my deposit, get my flight ticket, and not that, and potentially an international booking. So that's
Nice.
my first time out of the country. So yeah,
I want to say the most fun I've ever had, and again, I've been doing this off and on for 13 years.
yeah,
And my most fun was almost stomping the dog shit out of a promoter.
yeah.
This
That's fun.
this fucking happened because now, I mean, you know, you've dealt with promoters. They're either the coolest guys ever,
Yeah.
or the shadiest fucking people you'll ever meet in your
Oh
life.
yeah,
And it was me and my tag team partner, it was Jesse.
yeah.
You know,
Jesse,
we've all worked
for sure.
And Billy,
I
gets
miss
this-
Jesse.
Yeah, I fucking miss Jesse too. And Jesse's listening to this, so fucker, get back in shape and get back in the ring.
Yeah, I'm not in shape. Just come back anyway.
Well, Jesse blew his knee out. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Like, Jesse blew his knee out, had to have an ACL reconstruction, and he keeps saying, like, I don't know if my knee will hold up. I don't know if my knee
Yeah.
will hold up. Dude, you're running marathons. Like,
Yeah, especially if you guys are working a tag.
yeah, I think
you
the
can
knee,
do the work.
Yeah, I think the
you
knee's
can do
fine.
heat.
But anyway, so Billy Blade, who's my main promoter right now, good
My
friend
trainer.
of mine. Yeah.
yeah,
And in part mine too. And but anyway, Billy gets me and Jesse booked on this lucha show in Watsonville. And I'm not a big fan of the lucha style. Like, I wasn't
Me
trained.
neither.
I wasn't
Yeah.
trained. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the lucha style.
Yeah.
I just wasn't trained in it. I don't know the psychology. I don't know, so.
It doesn't make sense to me too, and I love luchadors. I just wrestled Damien 666.
Right,
last
yeah.
month.
And
Like, I love that kind of stuff, but it's just I'm not good at it. I'm not good at flippy stuff. I'm good at punching people in the face.
yeah,
and
I love the style to where you're not bumping.
yeah,
You're rolling, which is why a lot
Yeah.
of those luchadors are fucking 60 years old and still
Yeah.
working. So it's a lot easier on the body, but like the psychology, I've never been able to wrap my head around it.
yeah. I'm just not good at the physical part of lucha. The psychology, I kind of understand it a little bit, I guess, but just like I'm not a flippy guy.
Yeah, and
I'm
so
a
I've-
smash mouth hardcore
right,
guy.
and
So
I'm more of a technical,
Yeah.
technical guy.
yeah,
But so Billy gets us booked in this lucha show, and like I said, I've always kind of shied away from lucha shows. But Billy's like, yeah, no problem. This guy, he'll take care of you. And okay, so we drive all the way to Watsonville, which is the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
yeah,
And we work the show. All right, I want to say we're like semi-main event, and the rule is, doesn't matter what spot you are on the show, you don't fucking leave the show until the show's over.
yeah.
These guys.
Barring unforeseen circumstances.
Right. Everyone, people got day jobs, and
Yeah.
you have another booking later that
Yeah.
day or that weekend or whatever. Yeah, but for the most part, the rule is professionalism. You do not leave the locker room till the show's over.
Yeah.
The guys in the locker room watched your match, repay the respect.
Yeah.
And we're like semi-main, and I notice people keep disappearing. Like, people come in, do their show, and disappear. And me and Jesse are just looking at each other, and me and Billy and I, because it's me and Jesse against Billy and Caden, and we're just like, what the fuck? Like, dude, this is rude as shit. Like, they just work their show and take off.
Yeah.
And then, so, show's over. We all change. Now it's time to go to the promoter and get paid. And we can't find the promoter. The booker goes, the promoter left. He took the cash box with him, but I'll get you next time. And now the guy's pretending he doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Now Jesse's fluent in Spanish. My
Yeah.
Spanish sucks. I understand I can understand it, but I can't speak.
That's the way I am too.
I can't respond.
I can kind of understand what people are saying because I took it in school for a few years.
Right.
But
And so, yeah, so
don't know
he's-
what to say.
I understand what he's saying. Like, oh, yeah, the promoter left, took the cash box with him, and, I'll get you guys next time.
Yeah.
And I looked at Jesse and I went, and Jesse doesn't have a mean bone in his body.
Yeah.
Like, Jesse is the sweetest, nicest guy you'll ever meet. Me, not so much. Pissed me off. And
Sweet ass headband too.
Yeah. And he's still probably wearing the headband right now. And I told Jesse, I'm like, you tell that motherfucker he either pays us or I kick the living dog shit out of him right now.
Yeah.
And Jesse's trying to translate, and well, what my friend is saying is that we came all this way, and we worked, and we'd like to get paid. And motherfucker, that is not what I said. I said he pays us right now, or I fuck his shit up. And this motherfucker spoke English. He understood every word I was saying.
Yeah,
because
you
he
could
starts
see his
getting
demeanor.
nervous.
Yeah.
He starts getting really nervous, and he's just looking at me like, oh shit, like And this guy goes over, and I finally told him, I said, listen, I know you understand. I will fucking kill you right now. Pay us, or I will lose my shit on you.
Yeah.
He goes over to his wife, grabs his wife, pulls all the fucking money out of her purse, pays me and Jesse. And I don't know if Billy and Kate never got paid, but I got my money, and we're walking out. And then all of a sudden he speaks English. Hey, let me get your phone number so I can book you for the next show. No, fuck you. Drop dead. Don't ever fucking call me again.
Yeah.
And the part that was the added kick in the groin was there was a Big Bear diner. Like, I want to say like 20 minutes away. We fought with this asshole so much over getting paid. Big Bear was closed.
Oh.
So, dude, not only do
You
we
left hungry.
Yes,
and
not only do we get fucked out of almost get fucked out of our money, got fucked out of some Big Bear too.
that sucks.
And then we're driving home, and I don't know why, but we just start laughing. Like, Jesse looks at me and goes, did you just threaten to kill a promoter? Fuck yeah, I did. Don't book me and then fucking, oh, I'll get you next time. No, fuck you.
Luckily, I've never had that problem. It's been pretty good for me. I mean, some of the paydays are better than others.
Always. It's indie
know.
wrestling.
But I've never really got fucked like that. I mean, I've been fucked in other ways other than just a payday. But if it's a shitty payday, I've got my shitty payday.
Yeah, we've all have our shitty paydays.
Yeah.
But I've worked for a hot dog. That was it. I got a hot dog at the show. I'm going like, really? Like that this is it? This is what I got? You know, but it was a fun show. The guys were cool as shit. The promoter was I remember working a comic book convention.
Yeah.
Tara Calloway was booking
I was there too.
Yeah, you were yeah. And so
With Cole Cabana was there, right? For Billy too? Or was that the other?
No. This was the Ventura.
Oh, he
Ventura.
kind of stole it from Raw the next year or something.
Right,
It was the same
right.
thing, yeah. I wasn't there the first.
Yeah, I don't even think Tara wanted to do this. Like they contacted her.
Yeah.
And she contacts me and hey, you know, do you want to be on this show? It's at the Ventura Comic Con. And I went, you just said wrestling and comic books in the same sentence. Fuck yeah, I want to be on this show.
When we did it for Billy, there was no one there too.
Well, see,
here's a multiple night thing.
Right,
remember?
and they fucked Tara over on this because it was a 3-day convention.
Yeah.
Tara asked for Saturday night.
Yeah.
Which is going to be your Saturday night convention. Like I've been to enough comic book conventions.
Yeah.
Saturday night's always going to be your busiest night. And so Tara, like they asked how many can you draw. Tara gave them a number. She said, but you have to give me Saturday night. They booked her Sunday, I want to say the last hour of the convention.
Yeah.
Like everybody's gone by that point.
That sucks.
And then the organizers told her, well, you promised us this much.
Yeah.
And, you know, you didn't deliver, so we're not paying you. And poor Tara, dude. Tara pulls me aside, and she's fucking crying. And, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I can't pay. She had to pay. She was paying people out of her pocket.
Yeah.
Like, she sold a bunch of merch that weekend. And so the money she made, she turned around and had to pay the boys.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I told Tara, I was like, sweetheart, don't.
Yeah.
I said, I got to wrestle at a comic book convention. I spent way more money than I was going to make on this show anyway.
Yeah.
I said, it was for you. And you know what? If you do the show again next year, fucking call me and I'll work the show.
You know, what's really interesting too, since we're talking about wrestling, is now with Cencal, wearing a promoter hat, that's something new for me. You know what I mean? Me and Sledge and Dom have our company Cencal. And the main thing we always said is everyone's payout's going to be in an envelope before the show starts.
Right.
You know, if you know, we pay you guys right after a match, right? Not at the end of the night. That's always the way it goes. And we've tried to make this company like by the boys, for the boys, and we're starting to get bigger. We just had Pentagon and everything, and we have some big plans coming up. We're gonna have some TV soon. We're gonna have some some good stuff coming on. So, and we're gonna be running more often too. We're gonna be running every month or 6 weeks instead of every
other, because you guys are running every other month, right?
Pretty much. Sometimes there's a bigger gap because the venue we run at, which we're lucky enough to run at, that gives us the best deal you could ever imagine.
Oh yeah, and the Graduate's a great building.
They have football, so in football season, it's kind of hard to run.
A little bit
Sunday.
harder, yeah. Because for anyone who doesn't know, Cencal runs on Sundays.
Yeah, early.
which is great.
It's great for the boys.
Oh yeah, it's awesome because
get home at a decent time. Don't have to take Monday off.
Yeah, and I mean, I love working Sunday shows because they're earlier shows. I'm usually on the road by 8 o'clock. I'm back in town by 10.
Yeah.
And then if I work the next day, I can actually get some sleep and then just head out to work. And other than my body feel like hammered shit, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. So we've enjoyed it, and that's something that it's going to keep going. It's only going to get bigger. I mean, we're turning a profit now. You know, we went through the period of starting and everything like that, and now we are, you know, we're turning a profit. We're doing good. We're starting to get bigger. We're going to start bringing in names. We'll see how that works out.
So yeah, awesome. So anyway, back to horror.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite types of shows to do as far as, because I'm not gonna lie, I listen to you guys' shows and I'm like, I'm tempted to steal their format.
I love the top 5. That's my favorite thing of all of our shows. I love when listeners suggest us. That's my favorite thing, is when somebody says, why don't you guys just do the top 5 of this? And we use it, and we get the listener to give us their top 5 of the said topic. You know, like there's like, let's do top 5 this, and they give us their top 5 list, and then after we read ours, we read theirs, and I never open it up. I tell them, email me a separate estimate saying my top 5, or a separate list saying my top 5, and when we do the show, we open it live. Like we never see it till the end, and we see if there's any crossover or that kind of stuff. That's my favorite thing. And
so you're basically calling it in the ring.
Yeah, basically. And my favorite thing about the show is that we just go fucking batshit crazy. We do whatever we want. You know, we don't have to answer to anybody. It's just our own thing. If you don't like it, well, we always say, if you don't like it, fuck you. That's basically our motto, you know, is like, and people do like it. You know, I've only heard good things from people. Our listenership is increasing. I mean, we're on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube. We're all over the place. So when you combine all those numbers, although the numbers themselves on each format may not be the greatest ever, when you combine all of them, like when I look at our SS feed and we're getting like 1,500 listens in our period of 90 days or whatever, that's pretty good for a fledgling podcast. Like, we have no advertising budget. We've never advertised. It's all word of mouth and free forms of advertising. So eventually we will get some bloody disgusting ads or that kind of thing and try to get bigger.
Yeah, and you need to show me how to get on Stitcher.
Yeah, I will.
Because
after
so right now I'm only on Podbean and I'm on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And you warned me that SoundCloud only keeps like the 2 most
Unless
recent
you pay.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I realized that and I went, shit.
That's who we host with, so we got all of our shit on there.
Right, and then Podbean is great because I paid for Podbean.
Yeah.
And I looked at Stitcher and I tried to get I was working with the website. It was pissing me off. iTunes is a giant pain in the ass for me right now.
It is, but it's worth it.
Right.
Because I think we get the most listens on iTunes out of everything.
Oh, yeah. And, like, once I finally break that goddamn Da Vinci Code, like, I'll get my show on that one.
Yeah.
And then, like, formatting for YouTube has been a hurdle for me. But my brother is, like, a graphic arts designer, and he's showing me how to...
I can show you the program I use is... If you ever look at our episode graphics, they're completely fucking ridiculous.
I
I make them on Windows Paint because that's what I choose to do. Because I'm a big punk rock fan,
right?
And I love like the old Crass album inlays where it's just like hodgepodge collage of like cut out pictures pasted on each other. So if you look at our graphics,
right,
it's usually a main picture with a bunch of shit pasted all over that makes no sense unless you listen to the episode.
Right.
So
no, I have caught that a couple times.
Pamela Anderson with Slim Jims covering her nipples with the Macho Man in the background and all this, you know, which you would never think on a horror podcast, but that's what
right.
it was.
And it's not like you actually do this sober.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you put these pictures sober. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Dom, pretty much sober.
Right.
You know?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Me, I pound a lot of beers, and we are actually broadcasting today from the B Ward. This is the Post Mortem studio.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm here. I'm hanging out in your man cave right now, and
it's not the man cave. It's the Post Mortem studio. It's a professional studio.
Oh,
space.
my fault. This is very professional because I actually had to put the recording on pause while he cracked his beer. So you know
we don't ever pause it on ours.
I've caught that. So you're a big horror fan.
Yeah. I'm
not as big a horror fan as you. I looking at your studio, there's no way I can be. Okay. Here's the thing I hate, though. I'm not... When you ask people about horror...
Yeah.
They'll tell you the shit they've seen lately.
Yeah.
And that irritates the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Okay? The Saw movies, for example, were crap.
Saw 1.
The first 2. Love the first 2.
I would say even 1. Just 1. Even though Carrie Elwes, Robin Hood, Men in Tights...
Yeah.
Not good in Saw. The movie itself is good, but him... Not so good.
No, I like 2 because it brought it back around to the first one.
Yeah.
And by the third one, it was done. Like Saw the first one was such a mind fuck. Like, spoiler alert, fucking movie's like 12 years old. But when the corpse stands up, because I'm one of those. I watch the movie and I'm like, okay, wait, hold on, that guy did this, but hold on, no, that's got to be the killer because and I'll sit there and I'll fucking put this together in my head.
That's why it was so good. Yeah.
Right, and then you never until you saw the corpse stand up, you're like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you have to know where to look though with the new horror. There is 30 horrible new horror movies for every one decent one coming out.
Yeah. Definitely.
With Netflix, if you look at Netflix, their selection of horror is fucking ungodly. All these pictures that look like they do this certain style of poster, and I already know the movie's going to be bad. You know.
Have you ever noticed that I have never seen one horror movie on Netflix rated over 3 stars?
There's some. There's a couple.
Is there? I've never me and my ex used to have horror movie night.
Yeah.
We used to we usually Sunday nights we got off work, we'd sit there and we would junk food, Netflix, horror movies. And we saw some fucking just ungodly.
There's bad movies that are good because they're bad but they're entertaining. But most of the shit on there is bad and not entertaining.
No.
But I could give you If you want to see some newer horror movies that are good, I could give you 2 from 2016, 2 from 2015 that blow the fucking water. Saw looks like shit compared to these movies. So
Which ones?
2015, there's a movie called Deathgasm. You see that?
No, I didn't.
It's about a metal band who plays an ancient script, an ancient tune, and releases demons, and it's super gory. There's people bashing each other in the head with dildos. It's comedy horror, so it's not bad. It's intentionally funny.
Well, yeah.
but
Once
it's also
you said
ultra,
bashing people like death by dildo.
Yeah, it's
that
also very
can
gory.
never not be funny.
You can stream that now on Netflix for free.
Okay.
So that's something that's still around. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch Green Room. You ever see Green Room?
No.
2015. It's about a punk band who. It's more of a violent thriller than a traditional horror movie, but I'd still say that gore transcends the genre.
Right.
But Green Room, it's about a punk band who is on tour and needs gas money and is stuck and takes this show and doesn't realize that they're playing in a barn for a bunch of skinhead Nazis. So, and their first song they play with is Nazi Punks Fuck Off and Die by Dead Kennedys. And they get in the situation to where something happens, the shit hits the fan.
Right.
They end up fighting for their lives. It's gory. It's brutal, in your face violence out of nowhere instead of this torture porn. Like the violence is swift and brutal and realistic.
Right.
And it was probably Deathgasm and Green Room probably tied for my favorite movie of 2015. Deathgasm a little more because I like my comedy horror. And Green Room as the serious movie as the best.
See, comedy. I don't know if this qualifies as comedy horror, but I saw this movie called Black Sheep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God! It is so
It's pretty ridiculous. It's funny.
It is fucking horrendous, but you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anybody who hasn't seen Black Sheep, go fucking rent this movie.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's
sheep
on,
that are killing people.
Yes, I think it's on
literal
iTunes.
black
Yeah.
sheep, not Chris Farley and David Spade. We're talking about real black sheep.
These are were sheep.
Yeah.
Yes, you. The sheep bites you, and you become a were sheep.
Yes.
That's oh my God.
Good stuff.
I fell out.
My favorite movie of all time is Reanimator. That's what's tattooed on my arm.
You have a Reanimator
my
tattoo.
collection. I fucking love Reanimator. It's comedy horror. It's perfect. Perfect movie.
See, and I would say the movie that scared the shit out of me. And the sad part is I wasn't a kid. I think I was like 21. Event Horizon.
Oh, Event Horizon is amazing.
Event Horizon.
So underrated.
Oh my God, scared
As a
the living
sci-fi
shit
horror
out of me.
movie.
Yeah,
amazing.
because I mean,
Where we're going, we don't need eyes to see.
right? And God, who was the actor?
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. I kept thinking Sam Weir, but Weir was his character.
Weir's this guy.
Yeah, Sam Neill, the
Lawrence
Jurassic Park
Fishburne.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is so just creepy as shit in that movie.
And just everyone is creepy once the shit hits the fan. It's
right, and it
very
was just
good.
that movie. I want to say I remember I was
1996.
Yes,
I get hit in the head a lot. You know, I've had a lot of concussions, but when it comes to my horror,
like I know
I'm
my
a
shit.
fact machine.
Yeah, I know my shit. I was on. I remember I fucked up because I was on a date, and I was dating this girl Elizabeth. It was our first date. We're going to the movies. I said, "What do you want to?" Or she asked me, "What do you want to see?" And everything else was chick flicks, and you know, Elizabeth was so not the chick flick. So I'm like, that's why she was awesome.
So you watched Event Horizon,
And we went and watched Event Horizon.
then she fucked up. She didn't like it.
No, shit scared the shit out of her.
It's good.
I think I still have a scar.
Did she slit her wrist in the bathtub and her eyes turned black?
Not, but
No?
she seriously dug her nails so deep into my arm. I still have a scar, like I'm on the inside of my left forearm. And I look at that and went, that's my Event Horizon scar.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite movies of 1996. 2016. The other two. So I gave you 2015,
Right.
Green Room, and Deathgasm. 2016. I am sad to say it, but I've always hated PG-13 horror movies, right? But
Okay.
Mike Flanagan, who made Oculus, he just made that new Ouija Origin of Evil too, which the first movie
Oculus
sucks.
was actually
but
really good.
Oculus is good.
Yeah.
The Origin of Evil Ouija movie is good, and he made Hush also. But there's a movie called Before I Wake, which he just released, which is a 2016 movie. Amazing, psychological, supernatural horror, a serious movie. It's about a kid who, when he goes to sleep, all of his dreams come true, whether they're good or bad.
Oh shit.
So the things he sees in his mind, and everything is told like almost from a child's point of view.
Right.
So he's adopted and everything, and the people who adopt him, the parents, their son died. Well, he sees the picture of the son, and he knows they want them. He knows they miss their son. Well, he dreams about the son. So the son walks into the living room with the parents. But since he's only seeing a picture, he's got this really fucking rictus plastic grin from the picture on his face, like all peeled back, like he looks unnatural. Kind of like that Black Hole Sun video,
Right.
That Soundgarden 90s video, Black Hole Sun. It's kind of like that. That's a fucking, it's a great movie. So as far as my serious movie, that's my top serious movie. Maybe tied with one I just saw. It just came out called The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is amazing. I would never tell you any plot points on that because anything would be a spoiler. It's that good. And then the comedy horror movie is called The Greasy Strangler. You need to watch this movie, The Greasy Strangler.
You have my attention.
If you see any other movie for the rest of your life, it must be The Greasy Strangler.
No, back to Oculus. Like, I didn't expect that movie to be that good.
Yeah, especially WWE Studios.
Right. Yeah.
Like no wrestlers.
Exactly.
So
and but Katie Sackhoff. Katie Sackhoff was I'm a big Battlestar Galactica nerd. And so Katie Sackhoff was Starbuck.
Is that one of the actors? The
right.
actress?
Yeah.
The redhead?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen her do sci-fi. I've seen her, I've never seen her in a horror movie.
And it was good. It was good.
And so
you had to pay attention too. It's a good, well-written plot line too.
It really was. And like the funny thing was I didn't realize it was Katie Sackhoff going in.
Yeah.
And I saw the commercials and it looked interesting. My ex and I were like, because my ex was a big horror nerd too. And so we're like, well, screw it. This one looks good. And then halfway through I'm going, that's fucking Starbuck. Holy shit. That's fucking Katie Sackhoff. And like now I'm in. Okay. And she was also just fucking creepy.
Yeah,
in that
she was
movie.
the best part of the movie for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the brother, but she was much better.
Oh yeah. I mean that one.
And to have the villain in the movie be a mirror,
right,
an inanimate object, and still have it be be and still have it carry this weight.
Because that's one of those
good.
things. Like when you have something like that, like it's a possessed mirror, or they can either go really bad or really good.
And Mike Flanagan, the director of Oculus, and he made this movie Before I Wake, which I say is one of my favorite of 2016. He has really proven his chops as a director because he also did the Ouija Origin of Evil, which the first Ouija board movie was fucking horrible.
That's what I heard. And that, you know what
I would never see number 2 if I didn't know he was attached to it because of his track record, and he knocked it out of the park. It's amazing. You got to see it.
See, and I follow. There's this one YouTube blogger I've talked about him before. His name is Jeremy Johns, and he's usually pretty spot on. Like he and I don't know if we have like the same tastes or sensibilities.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point I'll wait till his review comes out to see if I want to see this movie.
Yeah.
And I heard like he did the first Ouija and he said it was fucking horrendous.
It was.
I believe he's got a rating system which I think is awesome. So your horrible movies, it rates as dog shit.
Uh-huh.
Right above that, you're not going to remember this movie in T-1 day. Middle of the road is would have been better if it was drunk. His B grade is I'd buy this on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And you're like the greatest movies ever are Awesome-tacular.
That's cool.
And I love the word Awesome-tacular. And he dog shitted the first Ouija.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm not checking out the second one because sequels are never.
This one is.
It's rare that a sequel's better than the original.
It's very true.
Right, and then
especially in horror. Horror is traditionally the sequels are cash grabs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're never as good as the first one. So,
like anytime, I hate seeing like just series just go on and on and on. Like just fucking kill it already. Yeah. Like I said, like we said, the third Saw movie.
Yeah,
I was done. I was that like 7 total.
I don't even know.
I stopped watching after the third.
Yeah,
and
just lost its steam.
Even like your classic ones, your Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, one awesome, serious horror movie.
Right.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, so much homosexual overtones. it's nothing. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's completely not serious.
Even Robert Englund hated 3 and 4.
Yeah, Dream Warriors I kind of liked.
Well,
I like 1 and 3, and that's about it as far as.
I want to say my favorite one is Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Really, I like it, but it's not my favorite.
Well, first one's gonna be my favorite.
Streaming now on Netflix if you guys want to check it out.
My first one. Obviously, the first one is great.
Yeah.
Because you never saw Freddy. Like it just fucked with you.
Yeah.
And then
they liked when they saw his one-liner capability and the fact that he was the one that could talk, not like Jason, not like Leatherface, not like any of these guys, that he had a personality. People liked it, and they liked his comedy. They exploited that. So every movie, it got more over the top. Welcome to prime time, bitch. There's all these one-liners and stuff like that.
You
that
forgot
makes
the power glove.
Yeah, he's not scary at that point.
Right.
Because he's just funny.
Yeah, and
which is okay if you're going for comedy horror. Like, I do like Dream Warriors. I do like some of the later ones. But, number one, Freddy's terrifying.
Right.
He's a fucking burned pedophile that comes into your dreams and kills you. It doesn't get worse.
I hated the reboot.
Yeah,
I hated that reboot.
Jackie Earle Haley, the guy who played him, is an amazing actor.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Rorschach from The Watchmen.
And if you ever watch a movie, don't let the name fool you or think the FBI is going to come to your house. But he's in a movie called Little Children, and he is a sex offender guy.
Right.
And he knocks it out of the park. He is a fucking weirdo. He's a great actor.
He's on Preacher right now. Like the Preacher series, the AMC is
you know what? I've only seen the first half of the first episode, and I have it all on my DVR. I need to watch that shit.
You know what? I
butt face guy.
I got halfway through the season, and then just shit happens, and I never actually finished the season.
Yeah.
But Jackie Earle Haley in that show is creepy.
Oh, cool.
And he just plays like this politician, like this mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude,
he's just got one of those faces.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this guy going, this guy has like children's heads under the floorboards or something. Like this, he just gives you that fucking creepy vibe. But no, back to like the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. I fucking hate it. I have this philosophy: don't humanize your villains.
Yeah.
I don't want to know where they came from. I don't want to know.
I'm okay with knowing where they came from and everything like that, but don't make them. He was almost like the movie kind of turned in the reboot to where he was almost sympathetic at that point. A pedophile he's not sympathetic. In the original, you're glad this fucker got burned to death.
Yeah.
The parents are the hero.
Right.
Not him.
You're on the parent side.
And even in the reboot, you can't tell if he actually did it or not. They can give this ambiguous vibe to where he is not only a sympathetic character, but you almost are like, did he really do this, or did they think he did it and they killed him, and that's why he's so mad? Right,
and now at that point, Freddy stops being a villain.
Yeah. And
you're kind of on his side.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
When Rob Zombie redid Halloween.
Horrible. I hate it.
I didn't have a problem with it when Michael Myers was an adult.
Yeah.
But you're showing him to me as a kid. Number one, okay, now, just to kind of give a little bit of my background, I did drop out of college twice, but I'm only like 3 classes away from a psychology degree.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I love, like, one of my biggest, like, how do I put this? Abnormal psychology.
Yeah.
What makes a crazy fucker crazy?
Yeah.
That shit, I love that. Okay, and if I was motivated, I'd go back to school and study criminology and shit like that. But I'm lazy. And but anyway, so what they did? Have you ever heard of the triad of sociopathy? It is the 3 characteristics that are all similar to every serial killer ever. And the triad of sociopathy is cruelty to animals, arson, wetting the bed. As children, all 3 of them have those 3 qualities.
Yeah.
Okay. And they tried to give that to Michael Myers as a kid.
Yeah.
And so as kind of a psychology nerd, I went, okay, I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
But then, remember, he takes the branch and he beats the shit out of the bigger kid.
Yeah.
Serial killers don't hunt larger victims. Victims
Not
larger
just
themselves.
that, but he's a sociopath and stuff like that, but he comes off as not intelligent at all.
Right.
As a kid. Which could be true. But, and then even when he's big, oh, Mikey, why did you do this? Danny Trejo and shit. I hated that whole,
right.
The whole beeline.
It was just, and I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie.
I love House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Devil's Rejects, I like almost as much. Lords of Salem, I can tolerate. I hate all the Halloweens. 31 is a piece of shit.
I did not like Lords of Salem.
It's okay. I mean, it was
different.
To me,
it was just kind of, it was all shock value.
Yeah.
You know, they're really like I couldn't get in the story.
Well, it's like the story is not that much. It's a bunch of flashing images as you get to the
Right,
end, which
and
is like
and that's kind of
House
my
of a
point.
Thousand Corpses.
Like
back
if I
to
did
the,
drugs, this movie would have been fucking awesome.
yeah.
You know, but I'm sitting.
Do
in
you
the
like
theater.
House of a Thousand Corpses?
I love House of Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Captain Spaulding is
Yeah.
seriously one of my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
characters.
Even Super Beasto is animated was good.
Right. Sherry Zombie
Yeah.
plays a fucking amazing psychopath.
Have you seen 31?
I have not.
Don't. When she plays a sympathetic character,
Right.
proves that she don't got no chops.
Right, but she plays an amazing psychopath.
Yeah.
You know, like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Reject. She
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yep. She did
But-
good, especially for no experience.
Yeah, and then you go to Lords of Salem, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
You know, like I wanted my gas money back. Like
Yeah.
not just the money for the tickets. I wanted the money I spent in gas
Yeah.
to get there. Like this is some bullshit.
I'm a big fan of Suspiria and movies like that, and I do like the witches thing, but yeah, it was. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. You
Right.
know, it's not, and 31 is 2 out of 10.
See, and
Horrible.
right, and I'm not. I'm a big fan of creepy.
Yeah, me too.
Like scary, not so much because not many people know how to do
Jump
scary.
scares they appeal to the lowest common denominator. You got teenagers in the movie theater trying to touch a boob. That's what jump scares is for.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's when you look at something and it's like, this is fucked up. That's what I like.
Right, and I loved the first 2 Paranormal Activity movies.
I like the first one. Yeah. Have you seen the marked ones? It's like 4 or something. It takes place in
Yes.
Oxnard.
Yeah.
That one actually was as good as 1 to me.
Yes.
I didn't like
yeah,
the
I
rest.
thought so.
Yeah, but the rest were not good. The new Blair Witch is also horrible.
I've seen it.
The new one,
Thankfully,
horrible.
the most recent relationship I was just in, she actually took me to see that movie, mainly because she worked at a dollar theater and it was like $2 to fucking get in, you know, and I think she got ripped off because that movie was
Yeah,
that
they
movie
should
was
be
the
paying her
drizzling
back.
shits. Yeah, but no, see, I loved the first Paranormal Activity because it was just creepy.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't see anything, you didn't, you know, and it was just.
It's a genre though that needs to die. Found footage, it needs to die.
It's one of those things that it was great when it first started, like the original Blair Witch.
Oh, original is great, and it
Right.
was revolutionary.
Right,
But
and then you
now
waited.
it's everyone who has a camera that wants to make a movie and save some money. It's found footage.
Right, and it's one of those things that it worked once, so you're gonna just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna beat that horse to death.
It's
but
true.
Okay, so I've always had people who said Paranormal Activity wasn't scary. Really, set up a camera in your house while you're sleeping, and see what happens when you're unconscious.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, no, fuck that. Exactly my point. Because you know if you rewound that tape and you saw that fucking door moving or you saw that bedspread being pulled off you, you would shit yourself.
You know what's cool is now we just talked about this on one of the most recent episodes of Post Mortem. Well, they have these augmented reality games with your phone or with the VR.
Yeah,
where you can see ghosts in your own house, and you walk around and plot your whole house out, and it will do stuff, and it'll try to get you to go places in your house, and you'll see like little things running around and things out of the corner of your eye in your own home.
Oh shit.
So that's scary.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like when it's actually there and you can turn and you see something out of the corner of your eye, you know, with the VR headset on, or even with your phone through your phone's camera. It's almost like your camera is one of those ancient, you know, the old school gimmicks of where this kind of camera can see spirits and that kind of
Right.
shit. They do that where it's your own house with like a sepia, you know what I'm talking
Right.
about? Like where it's like not grayscale, but like kind of orangish
Right.
and old looking, and they have shadows come. And go
I
around,
actually
you
got
chase
to
them around your house.
got to play around with an Oculus. I went to what? Scare LA.
Oh yeah, you went to that. Cool.
Yeah, I went. My ex was getting into special effects, movie makeup, and so there's Scare LA. She wanted to go to that because her school was. They had a booth there and everything, so we went to that, and they had an Oculus. So I got in line, put that bitch on, and the game fucked with me.
Yeah.
Because you are basically walking through somebody else's mental breakdown. They're in their house where a murder has occurred.
Yeah.
Somebody has died there violently, and you don't know if it's by their hand or by somebody else's. and you're walking around, and this is a mental breakdown on an acid trip, and there's blood on walls, and you're trying to like look through, like find clues to
and shit,
yeah.
That's the future. Yeah, instead of just being able to run around and shoot shit. Like my favorite game of all time is Doom. I'm huge on Doom.
Yeah.
The new Doom I fucking love. I still make Doom 2 levels and play Doom 2 with my kid and stuff all the time. And that's my favorite thing. But the future is not the point and blow shit up. The future is you can't fight and you have to walk away and you have to survive by leaving and be. That's what all these newer games are,
Right.
especially with the VR shit. Is you're not pointing a fucking chain gun and ripping demons in half. Because you have no fucking gun, and that's scarier to have shit pop out at you, and to be in this level of tension. That's where the horror video game genre is going now.
Like, yeah, I remember like when the original Doom came out, it was a fucking great game.
Yeah,
because it was terrifying.
yeah.
My brother, when Doom came out, I want to say my brother was like 12 or 13.
1993, Doom came out.
Yeah, so he was like maybe just starting high school.
Yeah,
And I remember him playing Doom, and I walk in, he's got the lights off in his room, he's sitting on his bed, he's playing Doom, and I went, "Hey, Andrew," and he fucking jumped. That controller flew across the room, and he got fucking pissed, like, "Son of a bitch, don't fucking scare me like that." I just said your name. Like, that game got him so wound up.
that's
But
awesome.
yeah, I mean that's what you're talking about, like jump scares.
Yeah.
That's what those games were. And yeah, now it's more cerebral. Now it's kind of fucking with you.
Yeah,
It's the subtle.
and the fact that you don't have defenses, you're not running around looking for things to kill and get ammunition and health and stuff. There is no ammunition because you don't have a gun. There is no health because you're gonna die if anything gets you once.
Right.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
There's a new game coming out called Agony. You need to look it up. It's agonygame.com or maybe agonythegame.com. My most anticipated horror-related game of 2017. Fucking crazy. Chock full of titties and gore and demons and hell, and it's just fucking. There's a crowdfunding thing going on, and it's already 150% funded or whatever.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna come out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. It's gonna be fucking. It's the next level of horror game.
Yeah. See, and sadly, I'm not a big gamer because I lose days at a time.
Yeah.
Like
Get
when I
stuck.
start gaming, I don't fucking call me.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
I do my game time like my wife works nights and I work days. We have our days off together, which is not my game time.
Right.
My game time is when she's at work.
Right.
Because out of fairness.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that kind of works out good sometimes because I'm not constantly on it all the time. Plus, I have 4 kids, as
Right.
you know, which takes up a lot of my time, and podcasts.
Yeah,
and
well,
all that
see,
stuff. So I can't play all the time.
Yeah, I work 50 hours a week, and then I'm
Yeah.
working, 2-3 shows a month, and we're sitting there, we go out there in spandex, half naked, so you have to be in shape. So, but if I'm not working, I'm at the gym, and if I start gaming, yeah, no,
Yeah. Not gonna work out.
I'll make the time to go to work, but outside of that, I'm not doing shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've actually been going a while, but so what's on the horizon with Post Mortem?
Well, we're releasing an episode every Wednesday. iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube. You guys can always go to postmortemshow.com. If you like the show, if you guys check it out, let us know what you think. Postmortemshow@gmail.com. You can suggest top 5 lists. We'll read your list on the air. And we have our live show coming up. So we'll see how that goes with our second live show. Screening Regurgitated Sacrifice. Burning Nazi flags. Wearing goat masks.
Right. So if you're a fan of horror, or you're a fan of, geeky shit like that, and masturbation.
And masturbation.
There's all you can never have too much masturbation.
Deathmatch wrestling.
Not at the same time. Please tell me it's not at the same time.
It's questionable.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, if you guys don't even like horror movies, some of the people that listen to our show aren't big horror nerds. It's just we are batshit crazy. We go on tangents. We talk about random stuff.
And that's why I was bummed out that Dom couldn't make it tonight.
Yeah.
Because I put the word out that hang out with the boys from Post Mortem, JD and Dom, and then when Dom couldn't make it, car trouble. You said.
Yeah, his
And
little turtle car broke.
And so I was super. Oh, that's right. He's got the Ninja
the
Turtle
little
smart
tiny
car.
electric
Yeah.
car, smart car, it broke.
It seriously looks like the Ninja Turtle smart car. It's
Yeah.
fucking great.
It is awesome.
But we'll definitely.
Were you there when we picked it up and turned it around?
I missed that.
we picked it up and turned it sideways in his parking spot at Cencal.
Oh no, I'm okay.
Like 7 of us.
I was there when he was loading. I swear to God, it was like 23 boxes into this fucking smart
Yeah.
car. I'm going like, is that a TARDIS? Like he just keeps loading shit in, and it just keeps fitting. And I'm.
He'll be on. We'll do it again.
Oh, we're definitely doing this again
Yeah.
with Dom. So yeah, if Dom, if you're listening,
Next Vendetta, come by. We'll do it.
yeah. So anyway, JD, thank you so much for
problem,
doing this for me.
Thank you, and I'm glad you're doing this shit. I'm gonna look forward to sharing your stuff. Post Mortem. We're gonna share it on our Facebook and everything.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm only 4 shows in, so as long as I don't suck, then I'm happy for right now.
No, you don't suck, bro.
And so I appreciate it, man.
I've done some horrible wrestling podcasts, as a guest or whatever, and you got a good thing going here. So.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, JD. Thanks for letting us use the Post Mortem studio here.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
the
all right.
B word.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. We will talk to you later. Bye.